Everybody, it's me back. I don't know if I lied or not, but I know I said to get back to you, but here I am. Tonight I'm in Lehi, Utah. Had a great couple of days with my brother who lives in Ogden, and then had a really awesome time tonight with two high school classmates. They were actually freshmen when I was a senior, but we knew each other through extracurricular activities, through band and notables and some other stuff. So they live here in Lehi. I've got I'm meeting a good friend of mine that's a CTO of a tech company out here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So been a great trip. No complaints whatsoever. It's nearing the end, which is okay too, because I'm anxious and excited to get back home to the family and the pets and normal life. But just wanted to kind of talk about tonight, just, this has been a rediscovery, right? The theme of this trip has been rediscovery. And a lot of it I can kind of put, a topic around it, around rediscovery of relationships. And specifically really this last, I guess, week and a half of my trip, as I had, the places I've been going, there's been reason, right? And the reason has been somebody that I've got a relationship with or have had a relationship with, and being able to reconnect with them. And I will tell you, it's been, one of the most enlightening things of this trip is having those conversations and spending that time with these people that mean something to me, that, have had an impact in my life. So the first one was my brother-in-law, for my late wife, Rebecca, Jamin, and hanging out with him in Tucson for the last weekend, to go hiking and do some other stuff. And we had a fantastic time together. Actually, I guess it's been 2 weeks ago now. That's crazy. Not just this weekend, I guess 2 weekends ago. But we had a fantastic time hiking, but more importantly, just catching up. Sharing as we've grown older and matured and had life experiences, just how things have, changed, really, just in terms of our perspectives on life, perspective on different things, philosophies on, politics, religion, work, family, all that kind of stuff, and just how that's evolved over time, and kind of changed. And then, this trip that where I was just at with my brother, my half brother, but my brother, Rick, in Ogden, Utah, and spending time. I had not seen his kids. He has 8 kids, 18 grandkids, so a very large family. Hadn't seen some of them ever. And then the majority of them I hadn't seen since they were really little, and I was young as well. So it was really great to get to, and we figured out once I got here and had a chance to talk to him, that I haven't seen him in 11 years. So there's quite a bit of an age gap between him and myself. He's the oldest of my half siblings, but we hadn't seen each other for 11 years. So obviously lots of catching up to do, sharing about what he does, sharing about what I do, sharing about the kids. He obviously had a little bit more to tell with 8 kids and 18 grandkids than I did with just 4 kids, but just a fantastic time of reconnection. And I guess that's kind of the theme of this one, is just this reconnection. Getting to see not just the places that are important to him and the places he spends his time, but the relationships. He introduced me to some of his close family friends. We got to hang out during the Super Bowl last night. So just really, really great to reconnect. And part of it too was coming out of that of realizing, both with him and with Jamin, of it can't be this long. Like, to wait this long in between, seeing each other in person, like, there needs to be some intentionality about reconnecting on a more regular basis. And then this evening I was able to spend, we ended up, we met at 6 p.m. and ended up closing down the place we were at for 4 hours. We sat there and talked for 4 hours with these two high school classmates that left Pekin they were in Pekin and left the Pekin and Peoria area, I think 8 and 9 years ago, respectively, to come out here to Utah to work for my other friend that I'll see tomorrow for the tech startup that he's the CTO of. And just really enlightening, encouraging to have, some of those similar conversations of, mindset, philosophy on all kinds of different things. Obviously, the work that they're doing, it's impactful work. The company that they work for is making some big waves in the financial tech space. But yeah, just to realize and understand that, and this is nothing against necessarily where, the Peoria area or anything, but just being able to connect, and I'm sure there's people like this, but being able to connect with like-minded, same age, same philosophy, people that aren't in the area anymore, that have experienced the outside world, that have, I say the outside world, like we're in a bubble, but the outside Peoria world, lived in other places, experienced other things, and just to know that, we all kind of share that same philosophy. And it's just been interesting to hear kind of some of the shifts that have been happening in mindset and thinking as, we've gotten older, have kids, matured, and it's obviously much different than when we were in high school, in the things we experienced then. So it was just been great, and I guess the encouragement and the thing that I've taken out of it in general has been around this rediscovery of relationships and reconnection of relationships. I've been fortunate, I think, on this trip too, of being able to go these different places and have people that I can go see and spend time with and reconnect with, of not taking those relationships for granted, of family and friends, that may have moved or gone elsewhere, of, that common theme is, well, it's been too long. It doesn't have to be too long. There's ways to stay connected. It doesn't necessarily have to involve going in person and sitting down, face to face with somebody, or across the table, of, through technologies, obviously now with Zoom and those other things, of being able to connect with these people and making it a priority. And then I saw another, a blog, or not a blog, Instagram story today around consistency. And I'm going to read it because it was really inspiring to me, and kind of got me thinking about this in light of these conversations too, of maintaining connection and that type of thing with friends. So this is the quote. It's, "If only people understood how important it is to be consistent. Everything that has value in life is a product of consistency. Success, health, fitness, wealth, friendships, relationships, and all other aspirations are all about consistency." So that just kind of tied in really, really nicely to, these relationships and these reconnections that I've had, of, if you find value in those people and humans and the connection, it's about being consistent, of not waiting so long, not waiting 11 years or 6 years respectively for, to reach out and reconnect with people and maintain that dialogue, especially those people that mean a lot to you, that you can relate with, and also family. That's been a big thing that's kind of come through this too, of the value of family, and knowing that some people aren't fortunate to have those relationships with family, and many of them, you may have one or two, but to not take it for granted, especially in that for me has come, I don't know, it's been kind of top of mind too, especially when a family member gets sick or something happens, right? It really makes you kind of step back and reassess and, reevaluate what's important, that type of thing. So the consistency piece, the reconnection, those have all been, themes, I guess, for this latter half of this trip. I still have the opportunity here as I finish up this trip to go visit with some family friends that I probably haven't seen for, I'll go probably another 8 years or so. I know my children were little when we saw them last in Peoria, but these were a couple ladies that I grew up with. Our families grew up together, and they were really important people to me. They're still very important people to me, but I haven't seen them for a while because I haven't prioritized it. So yeah, just I think that's been a big part of this trip, especially here lately. That reconnection and relationships and that consistency that is something for me personally that I want to do better at, and I know that is going to be a priority for me as I come back and kind of get settled back in at home. And hopefully, maybe that inspires you as well to, that best friend or family friend or, high school connection, or high school classmates that you still, quasi keep in touch with to, actually reach out and, I've seen it happen too many times, right? People were best friends with somebody in high school and then they unexpectedly pass away and you're left with regret and saying, man, I wish I would have reached out to them. I wish I would have established a relationship with them or kept talking to them. Like we were so close in high school or we were so close when we were growing up and we lost touch and we didn't talk anymore or whatever. And, living a life where you don't have those regrets that if something tragically, I hate to say that happens, right, that you're not left with feeling that way. So I just encourage you. I'm trying to take that to heart now, and it's actually got me kind of thinking like, who else is out there, right, that I need to reestablish a relationship with, or I need to reach out to and say hi, or jump on a Zoom call, or whatever it might be, because at the end of the day, it's healthy and it's therapeutic to the soul, and it means a lot to the other person, right? And if you truly care about them, you can't just hold that inside. You actually have to reach out and do it yourself and show them that you care. So that's all I have for tonight. Hopefully that's encouraging to you. I think, that's my goal too, is just in sharing, what's been encouraging to me and what I've gotten out of this trip. And I think those three things specifically with my brother-in-law, my brother, and these high school friends tonight, and then once again tomorrow morning, and then the family friends have been a big key part of this trip. That going into it, I didn't think of it as being like super pivotal, but it has been a huge benefit and high point of this trip. Like seeing the sights and connecting with nature and having time to think about things and focus on things has been awesome. But the reconnection with these others, with these friends and family, have been what I think I'll probably remember the most. And then finally, the key part of that is not making it a one-time thing and making it and turning it into some consistent interaction. So that's all I have for tonight. Like I said, I'm meeting in the morning with actually somebody I was really close with in high school. He's the one that's the CTO of this company. We were in Scouts together. His mom was my second mom. We were super close growing up, specifically through high school. And once again, we lost track of each other for a while, but reconnected. And he was also one that when my late wife Becca was sick, he went out of his way to travel and spend a day with me when she was getting pretty bad towards the end of things in August, and went out of his way to come visit me. So he means a lot to me. I'm looking forward to reconnecting with him, even if it's for a short time. So I don't know if I'll have time to do a blog tomorrow night. Still trying to figure out my plans on logistics to start making my way back east towards home, and what that's going to look like so that I can be home this weekend. But I'll for sure be doing another one of these before the trip is over, just as a kind of a summary, if nothing else. And do plan to continue to keep this up after I do get home. So thanks for tuning in again. Feel free to share this one if it speaks to you. Comment on it. But once again, reconnection of relationships is kind of the theme, and encourage you to do that if you think about it. So thanks for joining. We will talk to you next time.